I don't want to forget to hit the damn button. Well. Look what we have here. It's you. Welcome back to another episode of the best worst show on the internet. That's right. Best worst. Can't be anything worse than this. Anyways, there are still some things that have been going on. And boy, it's just kind of weird to think that just a little bit ago things were going just fine. But then you can literally watch in real time how the Streisand effect can really affect a whole lot of things. I would think you got to realize it, bro. You got to you got to realize it. Maybe there's some stuff that's just sitting out there in the plain view for everybody to see. Maybe it's just something that people didn't want to look into. I don't know. But what's up? It's your boy, man, Welch Office the Third or the Turd, depending on how you know me. And this is yet another episode of the Griftcast IRL. That show where we grift on the internet for money while talking about things that are happening on the internet and stuff. I mean, isn't that like every live stream? And no, sir, it is not like every other live stream. Because I say so. Anyways, how are you all doing today? I'm doing fine myself, trying to stay alive, as it were. I mean, yesterday was pretty interesting. There was a lot of stuff happening. We were looking into some lawsuits and things with some other people. And for it being such a popular topic, it's almost like, I don't know if you were like on a other type of platform or anything, or any type of platform, really, you could almost see in real time the limitations that are applied because you know how it works, or at least you thought you knew how the algorithm works, but you know, whenever they start choosing new words and stuff and getting on top of it really, really quickly, you can see exactly how they can divert the flow of information with just almost a simple tweak. I don't know. I feel like this is probably the best meme that I've saw that explains this situation that we all find ourselves in right now. Just looking at this right here. Jeffrey Epstein's international beep trafficking ring. Eyes closed. Eyes closed. What? Nah, man. That shit's done and over with. We ain't worried about that. Nah. People say mean things about your girlfriend. Eyes awake. Eyes awake. This is a meme that freaking somebody put it up there. But anyways, what's up, Doc Rocks? How's it going to Mr. Blacksmith 89? Nice to see both of y'all. Welcome. Hopefully y'all are doing good. And yeah, what's up, my poor swigger? That's me. I'm just swigging it out, you know, swiggity swoogity, swiggity swoogity swangling out here, you know, just trying to swangle my swangle. But you know what? Just trying to dag nangle my big bagel while I'm swiggity swoogity. Don't act like I don't know about the hip lingo out there. I might be old and fat, but I'm still cool. Or at least I think I'm cool. You might not think I'm cool. And I might just say you're a bitch. But then again, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. All it matters, truly, is that when you enter the danger zone as we have, you have to be aware that you must be using all of your facilities. You can't be like Cash Patel at the top with your eyes closed, bro. You got to keep your eyes open and you got to have eyes on the back of your motherfucking head. Yeah, that's right. You got to have the eyes on the back of your head. And if you don't have the eyes on the back of your head, well, boy, let me tell you, you got some things to be worried about, dog. That's right. Better be worried. I'm worried. We're all freaking worried. Well, I don't know. Do you think Cash Patel's worried? I feel like he is. I feel like they didn't really think about this whole entire thing when they were coming through it. Hey, what the hell? That's working. Where's that coming from? Oh. Weird. What's up, Squiggles McJr.? Nice to see you. Welcome back to the foray. Hopefully you're doing well this evening, my friend. I gotta tell you, the days are looking a bit grim, man. I'm talking like, you know, I'm just been trying to hang out. We've been trying to chill. And then just all of a sudden, like, what the fuck, man? Seriously, dog? Trump, what are you doing? I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna try something real quick. Just just bear with me real for a second. Let me try. Does this work? I don't know. What does this do? Let's see what this live chat widget thing does. Does it work? Hope it works. Anyways, sorry, I got distracted by some bullshit. I get distracted. Anyways, get distracted. Well, you're right. Oh my God, it's 11:11. Jesus, it's 11:11, dude. You gotta make a wish, bro. Some people are making wishes right now, watching auroras in the sky, enjoying themselves. I keep going outside, looking up, trying to see it, but apparently, I am not going to be able to see it, and I may be a little bit of spaghetti about that, but that's about as I'm furious. Actually, I'm fucking furious. I'm just like no, not really that furious. Little mad, but that's okay. You know, it could be a lot worse, dog. You know, I could be Cash Patel and I could be Cash Patel mad. As long as I'm never as mad as Cash Patel and his girlfriend about people talking shit about him on the internet, I think I'm gonna be okay. You know, keep them eyes open, dude. Keep them eyes open, son. If you don't keep them, oh my fucking God, it worked. See that shit? Holy fucking shit. It works. What? Damn, Rumble, since when, dog? Since when? How you gonna do me like that, Rumble? I didn't even know. Nobody told a motherfucker. Somebody could have told a... Sorry, almost dropped the wrong word right there. Holy shit. Now we can see the chat on the screen. How wonderful. This is great. This is wonderful. Wunderbar. Been waiting. I've been looking for that. Anyways, so do we really have to worry about these things? Yeah, we should have to worry about these things. Mr. Blacksmith, it's not the clouds. I'm just not there. I don't know. One friend in North Carolina saw it. I can't. Clouds. Damn, Doc Rocks, you got cucked by the clouds too? I mean, there's not clouds outside. I mean, I think it looks a little pinky. I don't know, dude. It's whatever, man. I'm a little... Damn it. God damn it. I'm so pissed. Uncontrollably angry for this particular situation, but that's fine. I can't be as pissed as some other people out there on the internet and shit. It's 11/11. It's Happy Veterans Day. Interesting how we have... Isn't it weird how the Marine Corps birthday and then it's Veterans Day? You know what I'm saying? But yes, thank you to all the veterans out there that are also not the Marine Corps. We're not trying to say that you're separate and you're not equal or whatever. You just, you know what? You're not the same kind of Kragon eating monsters that are old as fuck, okay? But you're still there. So, you know, thank you to the Air Force, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Army, the fucking Space Force, and then whoever else that I don't even... there's so many probably. But yes, thank you to all of our veterans for all that you do and stuff. We are sorry that the country has gone to such shit so quickly. I blame communism. I think we need to get those commie bastards out of this motherfucker damn fast. We need to clean this town up. You know what? I thought that's what we were going to do, right? I voted for Trump. I was asking to make America great again, but like it doesn't feel like that's what's happening right now. And then laws are all of a sudden getting more draconian and I'm supposed to be celebrating this type of shit. Yeah, I don't know, you know, like you could try to pull the wool over my eyes in these particular situations, but you know, I thought we were supposed to be about American freedom, American dominance, America making stuff, making America great again. Yet, you know, I guess we can't be too harsh on ourselves. Let's take a flashback, right? Let's take a flashback. All right, I'm cool with that. We could blame the evil wizard, Squiggles McJr. Blame all evil wizards. Fuck the evil wizards. What if I'm an evil wizard? How about that? Damn, son, I can't believe you don't like us evil wizards. You're such a dick. I don't like you. You're mean. Anyways, okay, yeah, I can put that up there. Woo! Yeah, baby. It doesn't say anything about evil wizards. Maybe I need to make it taller. 800. Oh. There we go. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. You blame the solar flares? I mean, I didn't really notice anything different. The power went out in some places or whatever, but that's about it. You know what I mean? The power goes out sometimes. You just turn stuff back on. It's not that hard. It's usually just like that one button. It looks like a power button. And you're like, what? What? It's not a big green button. I don't know what the fuck to press. Anyways, let's flash back to 1995. Damn, 1990 motherfucking 5. That was a long ass time ago. 1990? That's ancient. New York City Veterans Day Parade was in dire financial straits by personally donating $200,000 and raising another $300,000. Donald Trump has always cared deeply about our vets and parades. What happened to this guy? That's what I'm really wondering. It's Veterans Day. We're not doing the veteran thing, though. What's up, Yobi from Thailand? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. You're probably like, dude, look, he's so fat. That's not for long. I'm gonna get skinny. I'm gonna get bitches. I'm gonna be putting up 500 pounds. Yeah. Yeah, think about that. That's who he was, right? You can't understand the way this guy got to be president, right? He got to be president. He got to be there. But then it's like he's got to throw it in our face. Like lately, I feel like it's kind of a joke, man. We talked about America first, building up American jobs, getting more people in America's jobs, but all of a sudden I'm getting the same rigmarole. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting the same rigmarole. What's up, LWJWL? Whatever the hell that is. Was this supposed to be like a face? I don't know. What's up, CV? How you doing? And then we got thanks for all the people. Well, I don't know. You gotta watch this. HB1 visas, baby. Immigration. We're gonna have the most secure border that ever was, and we're gonna only bring in high-skilled workers, and boom. Wait a minute. I thought we were gonna be doing American jobs at American companies, but no. Oh, we need to fill the jobs now. Wait a minute. What? What are you saying?
There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
mean the Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not?
I'm not going to war for pedocrats either. Squiggles, we do. Fuck the pedocrats.
Workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
When we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here.
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say,
"Yeah, I should go to Thailand."
Into a factory, we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put.
How did we ever do it before?
Well, let me
probably survive longer there.
In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. Making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country.
What's up, J.R. Riggs? I already showed him one of your memes. One of the Cash Patel memes you posted. Good beam. Anyways, yep, Trump. I mean, in a shocking turn of events, just basically was like, no. Yeah, we don't have the right people here. We need to import more labor and jobs and shit. Like, seriously? This is the opposite of what we talked about. Why can't we just open up a trade school and trade people to use the batteries correctly? Even if we only had to import a few people to do that, I mean, I could live with that. That would make sense. Somebody to train them how to do that. But no, let's just support the entire workforce. Let's just bring in 600,000 Chinese students. Why not? We could use them. There's not 600,000 American students that are going to be able to rise to this level. It's just like kind of a joke at this point, where they keep saying, "Oh, people aren't trained for the jobs, and it's because they keep exporting the jobs because of the policies of the government. And then this is one of the policies that you were talking about, and then you're saying you're throwing it in our face again. So those big companies are just going to keep firing, Americans so that they can rehire Indian people. So when you try to call to reset your PIN for your debit card or whatever, you're talking to somebody from Pakistan and then another person from fucking Bangladesh and then another person from whatever the fuck country. And then you're just like, man, I'm just trying to get this done. So you got to realize that this is the ridiculousness of where we live. And maybe you're right, JRX. We're too dumb to work. We're too dumb to do that type of work, which I don't agree with, right? But it's like, that's exactly what he's saying right there. It's just kind of like, come on, man. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Are you serious? This is what you're saying right now? Like a tariff exchange. So we're going to exchange some skilled workers and some tariffs and we'll import some people, but, fuck the Americans. Again, enjoy your $2,000 stimulus, bitch.
You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this.
And then he's talking about batteries. He's like, all right, we need people to make batteries. I mean, doesn't Elon Musk make fucking batteries pretty close by where I live? Isn't there a Panasonic battery plant over there? Yeah, that shit's super dangerous, but I'm pretty sure they're making tons of fucking batteries over there. You know what I'm saying?
You can't just say country's
I Chicken Little said so. Tariff exchange. Pink hand waving. Hello, Chicken Little.
coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant and going to take people
foreign
off an
exchange
unemployment
student
line who haven't
program
worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, they're gonna leave for 5 years. What? Damn, Granger Man coming in with the Grift support. 1111 donation from Granger Man on 1111. That is pretty relevant to my interests. I love money. Thanks for making the Griftcast a Grift. Because remember, we don't really make shit from ads anyway. So anytime you make a donation, it makes the stream worthwhile. And, just to think, if I only stream for like an hour a day, I mean, what's the median that a dude's got to do or stream for? If you stream for an hour, you can make, $20, $30, $40 or whatever. I feel like, that's a pretty good thing, right? Isn't that a good thing? Doesn't matter how many views you got. It just matters how good your grift is, right? Got to make sure that you're really milking the grifties out there in the chat. Gotta get that money. So we appreciate your grift support. Oh my fucking God. What the fuck? Do you see that right there, guys? What does that say? FaranBalanced? Hey, DeFango, just saw your tweet. Saw you were live. Hope all is well, old friend. Oh, yeah, things are good. Things are good. I was thinking about talking about that today, too. Although I was going to wait for you to show up or say something about it because I was just like, isn't it weird? Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird how that just came up out of nowhere? It's been beep, 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 boop, boop. Been a while. You're like, he's not wearing a watch. That's where you're wrong. There's a fucking watch there. You just can't see it. Anyways, so we're talking about Trump. What was I? We were talking about Trump. Trump is being the Trump guy. We're doing HB1 visas. It's real nice. And then at the same time, we got guys like Lucky Palmer coming out saying, yeah, HB1 visas, you wouldn't believe the kind of scam that shit is, my friends.
Of course, there's so much H-1B abuse. You would not believe what I saw when I was in Silicon Valley. It is insane. It's obviously a program to try and replace U.S. workers with basically slave labor that can't ever escape. The H-1B abuse is crazy. Of course, there's so much
slave labor that can never escape. So yeah, that's what we're inviting in. That's where we're inviting in back into our lives. Oh, just bring it in. Just give it to me. Anyways, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Oh, what'd she say? We got to catch up, buddy. It's been gone for about 3 years from the internet, still talked about. Yeah, it's actually kind of strange because, I didn't even remember your account being FaranBalanced. I thought that was gone and you had you were working a job and you were doing stuff, being an adult and shit. But then you're back and it's just out of nowhere. I'm back too. Then, within a couple of days, oh boy. I mean, I guess we'll split off into that real quick just because she's here right now. But what I was talking about, what I tweeted at FaranBalanced was this link right here that I got on good old Alyssa Clips, man. The Clip channel with more fucking viewers than me and subscribers, which is hilarious. But yeah, I saw this name here and I was like, wow, really? What? Why would he be mentioning this shit? And it just says Drex, Ethan Ralph, Melton Zatro, and Nick Rekieta's version of what happened with FaranBalanced, which I thought was like a pretty established thing that he had already got caught up for being a swinger by the Kiwi farms. Like, I thought that was the timeline. And then, you had came out saying some stuff about that. And then all of a sudden it was different. Yeah. I don't know. But here, we'll listen to this real quick. Cause I actually searched this up, right? Because if you look up at this, so that you go here, you type in swingers, right? You can actually find it in the video at 13 minutes 52 seconds is when he says it. But then if we go back a little bit, yeah, go to 3:14. Thanks to Alyssa Clips for your greedy clipping of all of this crazy shit. Glad that we could have this up.
Too big for me. I'm fat.
What does it say? I changed it all back after I left TV news, but yeah, let's get into it, lol. Check your DMs. What? I have a DM? Oh yeah, I do have DMs. Wait, did somebody just hold up? I gotta pull my DMs up. I have too many DMs, man. There's people things. No camera. I'm in. Oh, I don't know if I could call you on my stream right now, but I could send you. I'm on Rumble Studio, so I could send you a link to that. Wait, no, I can't because I'm not actually streaming through the studio. I'm streaming direct. How the fuck would I do that? I guess I'll just call you. Call you later. Call you later. You just troll the chat. Don't incriminate yourself. Plan your ascent to greatness smartly. Don't get wrapped up with the tired old schmuck like me. Actually, do it.
Fattest. I am. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm not going to do that. It wouldn't work. Because it wouldn't work.
I'm fat.
Like, physiology is real. And it wouldn't work.
What is this? Mont Star coming in with the $10 super chat. Dude, super chat. Who and where do I have to follow you to get notified of your streams? Dude, you got to hit the bell, right? You got to hit the bell, right? You got to put it on all. And then you got to make sure that on your phone or whatever, your computer, you approve notifications for YouTube. Because if you don't, you're not going to see them. You're just not going to see them. I don't know. They don't notify anybody about my shit, dude. They don't like me. They hate me, dude. They hate me because they hate me, but I'm still making money, though. You can't keep a good grifter down. It's all about making those ducats, my fuck. Motherfuck it. Okay, I tried to rhyme there. It didn't work, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm still making that cash, though. See, look, we already made enough money to be like, oh, that's like an hour of work, almost minimum wage. I haven't worked for that much in a long time, but you know what? It's all good. But yeah, we appreciate that. We appreciate that, Mr. Monster. Yeah. I know you're good friends. We know we are good friends. I will call you, though, for sure. I think I still have your number, by the way. But yeah, I don't want to get on the chat. So he does get back into talking about the swinger thing. So I was like, okay, you're talking about being fat. So right here, he talks about work. Like he's fucking ever done a lick of work.
So yeah. It was a disaster, though.
I've never seen this guy do a lick of work. I've seen him fucking
there's some
drink
people like it really fucked with some people in locals and stuff like that.
Bobbed.
Some people who were kind of on the edge, and it furthered this rumor that my wife and I were swingers. And again, at the time, we were 100% monogamous. Obviously, things things got a little bit complicated and changed a little bit later for me. And, but that's not a story we need to get into now. People know about it, and if you don't, like, that's okay. But this is all before.
We don't want to get into it, but I'm going to bring it up.
Like it blew my fucking mind. I was on I was in the airport in Las Vegas when she started saying all this shit. It was crazy. And I have no intention of releasing these or anything like that, but the flip-flopping in private messages with her, it's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing? And she's like, I just want the best for you and blah blah. And I'm like, then why are you saying all this stuff publicly? Like, what are you doing? Fuck, it was crazy. The Fletcher boy says she went Laura Owens almost. No, and to be clear, I've never been in the same place as Farron or whatever. And now, like, because of, it's unfortunate, like, because of what happened, I don't ever want to be. Like, I can't fucking be around something like that. Like, if you're gonna accuse me because of a show, like, you certainly I'm on the chopping block immediately if I meet someone like that in person. Diamonds Are Forever says, I still have it on my hard drive. Well, only because it was hilarious as shit. And then she complained about not being able to get a job because of it. Right. And that I felt bad about it. And I didn't mind asking people to take it down. I don't think she did any, I think what she did afterwards, where she accused me of stuff that didn't happen, like, I think that was wrong. Obviously it was such a crazy thing. And like, but yeah, like, because of that, I don't ever want to be in the same place as her ever again.
I don't want to be in the same place as her ever again. Actually, I have an idea. I have that phone link thing, but it's not connected to my phone. Wait. Shit. Fix it real quick, though, probably. How do I do that? Add device. Android. QR code. Don't want to leak that. 1 second. I can get this done. I feel like I could do this. Phone. Wait, I don't have the app downloaded. Fuck. It's fine. I'm gonna do this right now. This might work, actually. Phone leak update. Wait, why didn't it? Oh, it's because I put phone link and it's linked to Windows. I'm a retard. That's fine. I'm almost there. Second. This is a live show. I never said it was good, okay? But please send me more money. I like that. I love money. Monster, he doesn't want to be in the same place because he won't be able to control himself. Well, he's talking about Farron right there. So that seems a little sus to say that even is the subject, because I mean, there's just a lot there to unpack, right? Like, he just has been saying some interesting shit. Wait, what's the code that's on my screen? Okay, that code didn't work. Okay, wait, hold on. Wait. But I put the letters and numbers in. Okay, it's not working. Close it. Cancel it. Over here, remove, add, Android, link. Oh, I'm not streaming. I'm streaming direct. I'm using Rumble Studio, but I'm streaming direct. Signed in with biometrics. Yeah. Wow. Perfect. Wow. Accept. Jesus fucking Christ, why do I gotta hit so many goddamn buttons? Oh my lord. Wait, it worked. Yay! Welcome to your Pixel XL. Okay, cool. Now I should just be able to call you. Then I hit the button. Calls started. Enable my Bluetooth. Set up. Do it. Okay. Ow. Is that not it? No, that wasn't it. Windows, Bluetooth. Oh, yeah. I'm not doing. I'm not doing like a show like that. I should be, but I'm not. It's fine. Here, let me go. Put up the fucking Bluetooth. Jesus Christ, man! Just gotta do so many goddamn things over here. Find this device on the list. I don't see it. Advice. I did it. I think. Look what you're making me do. I don't have. I'm not streaming like that. Not. It's not. I don't have a link to send you. Gonna install another fucking program, I guess. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Can't you call somebody on Twitter? You can call somebody on Twitter. And of course, it still has to be through the fucking phone. I hate my life. Well, I guess we're gonna have to figure that one out. Gonna have to figure that one out. Just send me a link. I'll go to my computer. Wonder why my phone isn't connecting. Hates. Everything hates me right now. In Perry. Yeah, whatever. Video chat. Oh yeah. Google Meet. That works. New meeting. Start an instant meeting. Use microphone and camera. Allow. All right. Change. And Celeste. My meeting is ready. Here you go. There you go. Man, I really wanted to just call you from my computer. That didn't work. All telling me to connect, and then I gotta connect and connect again. Seriously? Bye. Yeah. All right. I think it's working. Yeah, just call it correct.
Oh, wow. Did you get syphilis on the Oregon Trail and forget how to use technology?
Well, I didn't have it set up to like invite people on.
I can go on Google Meet. I have it where it's popping up.
Oh, you do? I just left it.
Is that easier?
Now this is easier. Now that we have it on the phone, you can just talk and then you don't have to worry about being on camera.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, like I said, I was just kind of in bed and I just saw that you had mentioned me on Twitter and then I was like, oh, this has been a while. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. You know, I just started streaming again. I got my Twitter account back
Hang on,
again.
sorry. I'm switching on my headphones.
That's fine.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you just fine.
I don't know why you're kind of going in and out. That's what she said, but you're kind of going in and out.
Am I? Is it coming from my phone? Probably. I don't know. Here, let me move my
I have a
phone.
feeling I have a feeling the Google Meet might be easier.
It might. What do you think it'll be
You
easier? I don't
think?
know. No, this seems to be working fine unless you can't hear me. What can't you hear?
Okay, now that's better. Now that's better. God, I love that. Caller, you're on the air.
Caller, you're on the air. You call me directly on my computer phone. See, look, I made it work. It's fine.
Yeah, you made it work. How's it going? What's going on, old friend? How are you?
I'm good. I've just been hanging out, trying to get myself back into the streaming life after many months of, many months of being not good at it.
Well, we had a lot of fun back in the day. What was that now? Almost 3 years ago? Gosh, it feels like it was yesterday, doesn't it?
It really does. And then you just like disappeared off the map. I heard you got like a real person job. And then you were like, nope, can't be messing with these internet LARPers. Can't be doing it.
No, no. Well, it was funny because I was doing the whole international news stuff in DC, and then I when there was kind of COVID hit, I got into the streaming world with the Johnny Depp trial, and then I was like, at the time, and I can admit this like 3 years later because we've all had our kinks here and there in life. And I was like, you know what? I just don't think I'm ready for the internet because the internet's just way too different than broadcasting. And so, there was a bunch of times where I looked like a complete and total dipshit and whatnot. But I mean, we all learn from our mistakes. And the point is that I learned. But point being is that I had so many great times with you guys, and I met so many great people. And yeah, so I went back into local news, and as many of you know, local news is kind of dying. And it's like you can either be on the Titanic and be part of the orchestra where you're playing and acting like everything's okay, or you can jump in a lifeboat and say, I'm not going down with the ship, which is kind of what I did. So I find it hilarious, like when Nick was like, oh yeah, she's in Indianapolis and she's doing this. I'm like, he has no idea what I'm doing now. I am no longer in Indianapolis. Like, he has no idea, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, so how are you though?
I feel like I'm good, like I have a real person job. I'm doing real person things and enjoying life, helping people out still. And then I decided that I should start streaming again because, why not? It's time. I got my account
Your
back.
rooms were so fun and so good. I will never forget the one Divinity stream that you did with her and I, where you tried to like bring us back together. And again, I look back at a lot of that now, and I have no hard feelings for Divinity. I get why she was angry with me. I hope she gets where I was angry with her, but it's just one of those times like where I look back and I'm like, God, I wish I would have known the internet better because I would have done so many things differently. But no, you were great though. You were a great mediator. I remember that stream. It was fun.
I tried to be good at some of that stuff, at least at some points in time. I mean, now I'm just kind of looking back and trying to get back into seeing what the drama was. And I just thought it was weird that they even brought you up. And my brand has always been whenever I see something, I say something to the person, be like, yo, have you seen this? What's up? Like, what's going on with you? Have you
And
seen
that's
that?
what I loved about you because you were very newsy when it came to all of like the gossip and like all of like the shit talking, for lack of a better way to describe it. And so when I saw your notification earlier, I was like, what is this from? And then I had a couple of other people message me, and I was like, okay, it is literally been 3 years, and we're still talking about this, Nick Rekieta. And not only that, you are completely rewriting the narrative because it is all there on the stream in black and white. What are you doing?
He's looking for a
Yeah,
win. That's what he's
it's
trying to do. That's what I think, at least. I don't know. He's been taking a lot of L's and some small W's over the years, but I just thought it was weird. I felt like I was like, that person hasn't even come up in a long time. I was like, Farron hasn't come up in a long time. That's why I was a little taken back because you went back to the old name.
Well, yeah, because I went by my name because when I was on TV, obviously, because went by FaranBalanced TV when I was here in Indianapolis, and because there's a big Polish population too. So shout out to all the Polskis out there. And then when I left TV, I was like, I'm going back to FaranBalanced because it was kind of fun and people liked it, and why not. And so I said I have no intention of coming back and streaming. At least not in the near future. But it's always fun to kind of catch up with old friends like you. But yeah, tell me about this clip. Like, what is going on? Like, I only saw like the bits and pieces of it because again, I was in the middle of a workout because I'm really fat now, and I was just like, what is he talking about? Like, and then finally I was like, okay, I want to go back to listening to like Imagine Dragons or some crap, Don't make fun of me for liking Imagine Dragons. Anybody out there that likes to work out to them, I love them. But yeah, I was just like, I can't listen to this crap anymore right now.
Yeah, he's a fighting locale, as our good friend Scroats McGoat says. Well, it seems that he's trying to rewrite history on the whole swinger situation because, I mean, it seems like it'd be just the time for him. So he's really just discussing, I guess, when all that information came out and how there was a rumor floating around that him and his wife were swingers, even though, if you go to Kiwi Farms, you can just go search back on the Nick Rekieta thread and you can see, when they were investigating that stuff. And I think it all revolved around a situation where he went to Jamaica or something like that. Some kind of a swinger cruise, I think it was.
Yeah, I think okay, I don't know if it's a cruise, but apparently it's like an island. It's an island called like Hedonism or something.
There you go, Hedonism.
And I've never even heard of this, mind you. Like, and I've heard a lot of stuff in the news, a lot of crazy stuff, and I hadn't even heard of this place. So that's got to show like how much you have to Google stuff to like find out what you like, and what your fetishes are.
Yeah. Well, apparently they were Googling a lot of really strange stuff. And I guess where he's going with this particular clip is that he's talking about this rumor that was going around, but he's proclaiming that him and his wife are 100% monogamous. And, maybe they were, but maybe they weren't. I don't think anybody can really know for sure, but it's almost like he's like trying to deflect and, throw shade onto you as being like the person that started that whole drama out. That's what it seems like the clip is trying to get to, because he's having trouble with a lot of things going on. Like he talks about Drex, he talks about Ethan Ralph, he talks about the HR role with Patrick Melton, and then he's basically distributing us new version of what happened, but it seems like he's trying to place the blame on you.
Well, I mean, you can like do whatever you want, dude. Like the truth is out there, right? I mean, and again, here's the craziest part. I left the internet 3 years ago. Like, why are you still talking about this? Like, I have since moved on. I've had 2 different jobs in television. I have since left television and started a brand new career. Like, my life, I'm very happy. And like, I'm still friends, for example, like with Megan Fox, where we talk about the Laura Owens thing, which the last part that I saw you watch where he said that I went like Laura Owens, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, first of all, I never even got near you physically, but how can I go Laura Owens with you? Like, I would have to say that you impregnated me. Like, that's just weird. Okay, number one. But 2, like, there's a lot of people that I'm still friends with, and I just look at this and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, move on. Like get a producer. Like, start a show. Like, talk about something else. Like, from what I hear, and again, I don't watch because it's been so long, and I have stuff that I do. But like, one of the people that I hear that he makes fun of Kurt, and that he basically just like talks about Aaron the whole time. And I'm just like, is there nothing else to talk about? Like, there's really nothing else to talk about?
No, not for him. I mean, he's like, if you look at where he's going with this, because, he went through the cocaine arc, he got out, he somehow managed to get off with a slap on the wrist in that situation, and he can only take legal drugs now.
I mean, I would even a slap on the wrist. I would say a finger in the face of no, 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 you'll never do this again. A slap on the wrist actually would have been even more so. I've seen people that have gone to jail for far worse than what he got charged with.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a news person who's been in courtrooms and covered these kind of cases.
Well, he's definitely, I guess, gotten away with it. That's the only thing that we could really say about that, right? Like, he managed to abscond from justice, although he's under the watchful eye of the internet, so I don't think that he's going to be able to get away. Like, I have the Kiwi Farms thread open up over here. I haven't even seen if he's actually, talked about it or what these guys have said about it. I just saw this get posted and I was like, wow. So he's just going to spend a good 2.5 minutes talking about Farron, and Farron's not around, but like, wait a minute, dude, like, you haven't even been in the zeitgeist for 3 years, right? Like, you basically, it's almost just a wild attack.
This notification, I was just like, why? Like, you don't have anything else to talk about?
And I mean, I guess he's just showing that he's got some ire for you. You wanted to take some of the heat off of himself, because people have been leaking messages from them for a while now. And I think it was Ethan Ralph, actually. And it was Saturday.
Okay, wait, really quick. Speaking of Ethan Ralph, why is he like doing the sunglasses Ethan Ralph thing now? What is this?
I don't know. Well, they're saying that the sector is dead, and I guess, Nick has completely screwed his chances up with LawTube. Other people have taken up the mantle. Not that he was truly the king of the good side of LawTube. He was more of like the degenerate LawTube. But think about it. Maybe he's trying to be cool, and he's trying to be like Ethan Ralph, because that's the same shit that he does when he's all jacked up, to hide, make it so people can't see his eyes and his expressions. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I will say this, to be fair, and I will give Nick credit on this. Nick was always very much against communities on the internet, and I completely understand why, because he was like, God forbid if one person does something wrong, and the entire community either has to go against that person or stand by that person, which is actually very ironic, because while Nick sits there and says that he hates LawTube and how, gay it is or whatever, he expected everybody to come to his defense. So it's like he was calling out things that like he didn't like LawTube for, but then expected LawTube to do it for him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. I just felt like it was a mean move. At first I was like, well, maybe y'all are talking, and like, this is part of your grand rise to fame, YouTube stardom again or something like that. But that seems like that might be not right.
You mean for me?
Yeah, for him. Or no, for you.
Oh.
Man, I was like thinking in my head, there's like a whole scenario I built in my head. I was like, what if they're talking again, and she changed her name back, she's coming back? Is that what's happening? But no. Nope. It's just Nick.
I just always kind of loved the name. And also, like, I will tell you this too, like, you and I were always very good friends. We were very real with each other. You and I have had why do I say this? You and I have had long conversations, because this was back in the day when we were trying to expose certain people, and you had told me kind of the ways in which you do your journalism, I do my journalism. We had a very, very good working relationship, and I learned a lot from you. I hope you learned a lot from me, but that's where I was like, I'll come on and I'll talk about it, because, why not? It's kind of weird,
Yeah, it is a little weird. I know Nick has been dabbling in something called the Dabbleverse, which I'm still not exactly sure what the hell that is, but it definitely doesn't seem like something that I would want to be a part of. But it seems like he's been hanging out with
what
those
is the
guys.
Dabbleverse?
It's like a
what is that?
It's like Patrick Melton and a bunch of people that are like weird simps for this guy. that, they supported him when a bunch of other people didn't support him. So he's like, all right, I'm hanging out with these people now. And
Wait, who's Patrick Milton?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how half of these guys are, because I haven't been paying attention to half of the stuff that's been going on with this guy. I just watched some of the clips and videos because it's funny, and he's topical for the most part still, which is kind of insane to think about, because they literally.
See, what's really funny is like, where I get a lot of my updates from. I'll be completely honest, because I have, and everyone's gonna laugh at me, but he reminds me. Okay, so I am a huge stand-up comedy fan. Huge Saturday Night Live fan, and people are going to either love or hate me, and they're going to either leave the chat or they're not, but I love Kino Casino. And Ashton reminds me of John Candy, and Andy Worski kind of reminds me of like the Michael Myers to the John Candy. And I started watching them, to be completely honest with you. I watched them for when they used to talk crap about Canada. Because when I worked for an international news station, that's how I used to like get my updates on how people in Canada felt about what was going on with like Justin Trudeau and like the trucker rallies and all that stuff. And then when I saw that they started talking about Nick, because again, I had left the internet, I had already left the internet. And then I was like, wait, why are they talking about Nick a lot? And then like, of course, all this stuff happens. And then they were talking about like iDubbbz and like all of these other people, And yes, the Kinoverse, don't get felted. And I am, how do I say this? I am not personal friends like with Andy and PPP, but like I've had, I've sent them like clips as far as like funny stuff on Canada and what have you that I've seen. Because like I said, I watched them for the international stuff. And then I learned like there was this one lady that they were watching called Vampira, who was from like Richmond, Indiana, which was like the DMA that I was just in Indianapolis. And she's just like, I don't want to call her an insane woman, but it's her and her husband who has like no teeth. And they make like the grossest crap. Like when I say gross, like I'm talking like spaghetti tacos and stuff. Like, and they would just like watch and just, laugh their asses off. That was kind of like my, this gets me away from the death and destruction that I have to deal with every day on the air, And so like when I started saying some of this stuff about Nick through them, I was like, God, like, it seems like stuff's getting really bad. Things are getting really bad.
Uh-oh. Somebody might have posted this about 9 minutes ago on, what do you call that? Kiwi Farms. Just pointed that out there. Looking at it, shit. Hi, Bert Macklin. Hello.
I'm a huge Parks and Rec fan. I love that.
And it's even a picture of what's it called, that one dude from Kino Casino. They really like that guy, actually. Yeah, I've been kind of watching them. I've been watching both of their stuff for a while, and I've seen them get felted, but they've been doing, I guess, a lot of felting of people if we're going to use all of their lingo and terminology and whatnot. But I feel like everything that I've been looking at with this particular situation, because like I haven't kept up, like I've been looking at the thread whenever there's like a notable something that's happening. But it sounds like there was all this crap with Aaron, which everybody has been talking about for God knows how long now. And I guess, what's your take on the whole Aaron situation? Well, at least with him apparently going to jail for 8 days for distributing revenge pornos.
Yeah, and I had seen that because on my YouTube algorithm, like it'll still kind of pop up some of the steel toe stuff since I'm a subscriber to it. And for many that don't know, like Aaron and I kind of go, way back in the broadcasting world. While we didn't really know each other, the longer you're in broadcasting, the more and more smaller the world gets in broadcasting, whether it's TV or radio. And that was one of the things that Aaron was really, really nice when I was going through all my crazy stuff. Aaron was really nice where he was like, hey, like the internet is really different from broadcasting. It was tough for me to figure that out too, blah, 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 blah. And I had originally reached out to Aaron when he was talking about stuff, when he first started kind of leaking the stuff about Nick, because there was a clip that a friend of mine sent me where he said, "Hey, I really think you should look at this clip and what Aaron says." And Aaron was talking about how I don't know if it was Nick and his wife or it was just Nick. I think they were all out, but how they wanted to go to a sex store, or they went to a sex store, a sex shop to get sex toys. And if you remember in the infamous stream with me and him, he literally says, "I'm going to bring Lady Rackets and myself to DC, and we're going to go to a sex shop and find like the craziest sex toy that we can." And I was just like, I'm good. Like, we're good. And I messaged Aaron and I was like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on." I was like, "But if there's like any kind of grooming, like that was something that was said to me and my antenna's up," because Aaron had never come out and said yet, "Oh yeah, we were all swinging." And he kind of made it seem like they were like still friends, but like, we'll see. And I was just like, dude, no, like, do not do that. Like, that's kind of like what, he tried to do with me, which was kind of weird. And like, I have done too many news cases and news stories where that's how it starts. Like, I do not recommend, do not pass go, do not collect $200 with that one, And Aaron was like, "Well, there's actually a lot more to the story." And that's where I kind of learned everything. And I was like, "I'm so sorry. Like, this sucks." And mind you, the whole time too, he was like, I was part of it. And that is the one thing that I will say that I do give Aaron credit for, like, despite whether you like him or not, there is an accountability there.
Yeah, I mean, he went to jail and he pled guilty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the whole extent of what happened, like with him and like this whole. What did you say he went to jail for?
Revenge porn, because I guess what Aaron's distributed a naked photograph of Kayla Rekieta, our wife, to Gino. Was it Gino? And who's the other one
You're
that
asking
Gino
the wrong person.
There was this Gino guy, and then Gino got married to, what's her name? Keanu. I mean,
Keanu, Keanu, yeah, she's hilarious. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like she got married to this guy named Gino, but I think as I remember it, he had sent a naked photograph of somebody to him, and then basically it got constituted as, him sending revenge porn.
Wait, hang on. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Are you talking about? Okay, because I remember seeing a clip where it was Aaron sent him something where he was like, "Not too bad, huh?" or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like Aaron had sent him a picture about her tattoos. Was she naked in there?
I thought she was naked in that, because they basically were like, I mean, he went to freaking jail for it.
See, I thought he was sending her a picture showing her tattoos. I didn't realize she was naked in it. Jeez.
Well, yeah, apparently so. So that's why he ended up, I guess, going to jail.
But it sounded like the way that he said it, though. Didn't even Gino say like, "Wow, look at that pose" or something like that?
Yeah. So
she was like posing for him.
I mean, maybe it was kind of a naughty pose of some kind. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, naughty.
It was very naughty stuff.
So now we have regrets, don't we?
Yeah, well, even more so, like, this whole situation got super crazy. Like, it was even hard for me to keep up with all of it, because after Nick Rekieta, I guess he took a win. Like, he lost to Monty in the beginning on his lawsuit, but then Monograph couldn't afford to keep doing the lawsuit, so he had to drop it out. So he got a win there.
Wait, what? So that whole case got dropped? God, this is how long I've been away from the internet, kids.
Yeah, so that, like, the whole Monograph case got dropped, and then somewhere around in there, Aaron basically had to go to jail. Nick got off on his stuff, right? For the most part, he still has like supervised probation of some kind or something like that. But if he gets caught with drugs again or anything, it's curtains for him. But You know, he's obviously tried to keep himself like coming back, but he's not really able to do much of anything with that situation right now. And it's like every single stream that I've been to and I've watched, you know, of his, he's basically like just fighting the chat and not really able to do anything else. Like he's just kind of reminiscing about how shitty life got and then trying to move forward. And like a lot of people in the chat are saying that he literally goes and asks about like this stuff with other people. Like he's created a whole new hug box around himself to basically keep him back on, or at least try to get him back on track, to the point where, you know, he's actually going and hanging out with Ethan Ralph again. And as usual, him and Ethan Ralph immediately are beefing. Ethan Ralph is raising donations to leak messages about, I guess Nick is still trying to he misses his ex lover of some sort. I mean, I don't know
Oh
how
my
that always
God.
fucking works.
This sounds like the freaking Young and the Restless. Jesus.
Yeah, you know, Aaron ate
What
Nick's
is
cum.
this?
That was another thing that happened apparently. I mean, it's just like we went from fucking Law, Johnny Depp, and like talk about cases to Aaron's
like
eating
dumpster
cum.
fire.
That's where we went in this whole thing. It's just
Aaron's eating cum. What?
that was another one of the things that I remember out there. There was one tweet. There was one time where Aaron was literally like, when he was in jail, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to suck dick," and he was all right with it. It was the craziest thing I had ever seen.
Oh no. Okay, I remember saying this for like a hot second too, because again, at the time, you got to remember when you're in local news and you're like trying to follow a bunch of stuff, like the LawTube tweets start to kind of in the algorithm phase out. But I do remember seeing something about Nick saying Aaron ate his goo or some crap.
Yeah,
and I was just like, what in the world? And I was like, you're on mute. Like, I'm sorry, dude, you're on mute. I don't need this crap in my life right now. Like, I am a professional woman trying to hunt down a murderer in the city of Indianapolis, and you're talking about eating another man's goo. Like, driver, we're done here.
I'm just telling you what happened. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just letting you know.
Well, hang on. In order to protect yourself, because I'm going to be your friend and tell you to protect yourself. Allegedly, it happened. Allegedly.
I mean, if the toe wants to go toe to toe, that's fine. He might be able to out basketball me, but I could box better than him.
Toe to toe, no pun intended. Steel toe. Mm-hmm.
That's true. Well, somebody corrected me in the chat. Aaron ended up in jail violating a restraining order preventing him from speaking of Kayla, which happened when he attended an event where someone else spoke of him or her. So basically someone else brought her up, and then he went to jail for like 8 days for it, and apparently played basketball. It was called Larry Bird. So, take that with what you will.
No, I mean, that's an Indiana guy, so that's kind of cool. But hang on, wait, I didn't even realize in an HRO you can't even talk about somebody. That's kind of like douchey.
Wait, no, Eager Bill says that's wrong.
Don't say my name.
Well, I mean, the only person that you do it is if somebody's sending you vicious death threats. Like, that's the only time that I would say, if a judge signs off on a TRO because you got enough stuff for it, then, okay. But if you can keep it, that's a different story. Right, but it's almost.
I mean, it's so weird, Nathaniel, because like when I look at HROs just being in the news, like when I see HROs, it's usually like from a domestic violence victim against her ex-boyfriend or ex-husband or whatever. So the HRO was against him talking about her?
Apparently, well, now another guy
on his show, I guess.
Yeah, apparently it was more specific than that. It wasn't actually a restraining order or HRO. It was like a judge order. It was a condition set by the judge for his release, and then he violated it.
How did he violate it?
By going to a show. I think it was like one of these no, it wasn't the Dabbleverse show. I'm sure somebody in the chat will tell me, but he basically went
sorry,
to an event.
you're literally like my breaking news for me. So I'm learning all of this on the spot, folks. So sorry if you already know this, but I do not.
Yeah, a lot of us don't know it because like I haven't been keeping up on him as like hardcore as I was. Like I haven't been on the internet talking
It's just
about
like
this
a
shit.
lot.
It's just
It's
it's a lot.
It's just a lot of bullshit.
Yeah,
It's a lot of bullshit.
There's just a lot of crap that we've all been dealing with listening to it. And,
This honestly sounds like a junior high playground. Like, well, I like her, but no, I like her. Well, you can't say anything about her. Well, you can't say anything about her, or else I'm going to go to a judge about it. Like, what? I'm going to tell the teacher. Like, what? Did we not play team sports in grade school or high school? What is this?
Well, it's what they like to do now. I mean, it's how everything goes, right? And it's always going to be news when somebody comes out and says something. And I mean, if Alyssa Clips thought that it was news enough to put up a video about it to get a couple of views, then I think it's good enough for me to talk about it, and it's good enough for me to reach out to you about
here's
it.
the other thing too. Like, I will tell you, like, and this is no offense to women that have sent nudes. I give you no judgment against you. I pass no judgment. You know, if it's between your husband or whatever, it's somebody that you can really trust, like, send them away. But if you're clearly like in a polycule and y'all are like starting to like get angry at each other, and because again, like, you know, what was the famous phrase that Princess Diana said about Prince Charles and what's her face, Camilla? You know, there's not enough room in a relationship for three, you know, let alone four. Okay. So clearly there's going to be a lot of jealousy and all that other kind of crap coming, right? But if you're going to take the chance and send nudes to like a guy in like the little group sex orgy thing that you're having, like, I'm sorry, like, that's you taking a chance on something. And especially if you're posing for it, like, that shows that you kind of knew. I do remember kind of seeing something about, like, maybe it was Legal Mindset fighting with Nick Rekieta on Twitter over it, or somebody fighting with him where he said something like she didn't know that she was getting a picture taken. And then I do remember, like, Gino, where he was like, wow, what a pose, or something like that. So, like, don't tell me she didn't know, because, like, if you don't know, then she clearly would have, like, a dirt face or something, like, you know, like, where she didn't even realize she was getting a picture taken, you know? It sounded like she had posed for it. Wow. And girl, like, I am very much all for, you know, women, and I hate revenge porn and all that other stuff, but it's why I've never sent a nude. It's why I never intend to until I'm married. And even if that, there's going to be like an NDA with my husband that I'm going to have to do, you know, but like, that's why I always strongly encourage women, just don't send nudes, because this is the kind of crap that's going to happen. You know, I'll never send your nude, babe, I promise. And then, like, I will never forget my ex-boyfriend. A recent ex-boyfriend was like, oh, yeah, like, I just got a picture of Matt's girlfriend's tits. And I was like, what? And he's like, oh, yeah, we always send each other our girlfriend's tits. And I was like, are you guys, like, 13? Like, what is wrong with you guys? But that's men. Yes, that's men. Like, yes. Do not trust them when it comes to naked pictures, ladies. Like, and it's nothing against you, DeFago men out there, but like, ladies, just don't. Just tell them to wait for the real thing in person. You know, this is good advice.
Now, hold on a second. Somebody named Eager Bill in the chat seems to be very, very well versed in all of this stuff, so I'm going to defer to his logic. But he says, basically, there was a feminist judge that said an unreasonable order, but Aaron also caved and had a shitty lawyer. So basically, Gino got him in trouble twice with the judge because of the violation. And the violation itself happened when Aaron was on vacation to Florida. He had Gino and Keanu run his show for him, and they talked shit about Kayla. So the judge held Aaron responsible by proxy, since it was his show and he had control over it and what was said. What the fuck? She knew? What? Wow. That's fucking crazy. Are you shitting me? Gino and fucking Keanu gotta put him in fucking jail for that shit? Damn, dude.
You literally have got to be kidding me because, okay, Minnesota is a very purple / leans Democratic state. And this sounds like everything. Well, okay, hang on. Let me backtrack. Minnesota is a purple state. The big cities like St. Paul, and what's the other one? Minneapolis, like very blue. All the other kind of big type of cities. But then everywhere around those cities is like the country, where they're going to be very, very red. So many of these, like I know, like for example, like where Nick lives, it's a very red county. The judges tend to be very red. This sounds like something completely out of like I don't even know, some dystopian empire of, well, since you had the control over these people, you're the one responsible. Like that literally sounds like insane to me.
It is insane. It's like
And
these people are running ops on him.
Now.
These are like
Yes,
gay,
yeah,
this is
it's
gay
about
ops
parents
level
now.
shit. Like that's why I'm just like the whole Rekieta situation has devolved into something crazy because not only did they do lawfare on each other, they were gay opping. Nick, he's basically a pathological liar, which is safe to say since he's a fucking lawyer. Still, apparently, for a second there, he wasn't a lawyer. I thought he paid the bill or whatever. I think he paid the bill and got that back. But for a minute there, he was in arrears in that particular situation. But it all seems to stem from what Eager Bill's saying here is that there was a clip where Nick said the same thing about never sending nudes, but his whore wife posed for Aaron and Nick never saw the pic, and that's apparently the pic that got sent to somebody who was on live stream that reviewed it, that started this whole freaking mess. And apparently this shit can only happen in Minnesota. And they said that they read the court
to that I would say
transcripts.
what? To that I would say what? Just like how Nick said that I wanted him to come out to DC. Like, shall we get into the clip? Like, do you want to get into it or not? Because I have a lot to say. A lot to say.
Well, towards the end of this thing here, it was like, he talks about the choppy block, some diamonds are forever bullshit. Let me figure out where we're at. Because towards the end of this clip here, he calls you Laura Owens, and he says that he had never been in the same place with you.
Since I'm here, I would go to the actual start of when he starts talking about me. Like, go to that, and I will respond. Like, hello, folks. Live reaction here, because, if people know the lore, my DMs kind of prove to be correct. And mind you, when those DMs leaked, that was just my perception, which goes to show my perception was correct on stuff. And I'm also going to say one more thing. When you're ready, let me know, because I actually want you to pay attention to this, because a lot of people do not know this fact about the drunk stream and what happened.
I'm ready.
I'll wait. No, I want you to be totally focused. I want you to be totally focused. Find the spot, and then I want you to focus on this.
Oh, I'm focused. I got it set up.
Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate you. Great to be talking to you again. Okay. One of the first things that I want to say is that the drunk stream happened. Two things. The first thing was I had never asked Nick to take it down. I even have the DMs to prove it, because we ended the stream about 7 a.m. because it went till like 5 a.m. and then we talked till about 7 or 8 a.m. I went to bed. I woke up at like 2 p.m. that next day, because that weekend my godfather had died. It was a rough weekend. Not that that's an excuse or anything, but that's where I was completely out of my mind, more than I've ever been in my life. And he was kind of like the patriarch of the family and all that, and all the cousins were together. It was just a lot. And I should have called it a night, but I was having fun, and it is what it is. Can't go back and change it. But stream ended about like 5 a.m. Nick and I talked about 7 or 8 a.m. I woke up at 2 p.m. I see all my DMs, and I see a message from Nick that's like, hey, I took the stream down. I had no recollection of what happened. I remembered certain bits and pieces, like, holding my cats and stuff. I had never remembered like going back and throwing my legs up, which I know in my drunk brain, I thought, oh, the camera's not going to see the bottom part. You'll just see the front top of my legs, which will be funny. Yet you didn't, although I was in tight shorts, so like deal with it. And then he's the one that took it down. And then I found out later, because Legal Vices, if anybody knows LawTube, Legal Vices was one of my dearest friends, one of my best friends. Along with my sister, he was best friends to both of us. Nick was the one that reached out to Nick and Legal Mindset and was like, take this down for her. Like, she's like my little sister, take it down. And so Nick kind of tried to play it off like he took it down. When I found out, it was actually Legal Vices. And so that's the first thing. The second thing that I want to say, and this is very important. Anybody in the chat out there, anybody have anybody in the medical field, let's say, for example, like a nurse? A nurse? Do you know anything about nurses, Fango, and what they do besides taking care of people?
Clean up shit.
That they are meticulous note takers. Meticulous note takers. Why do I say this? My mother, because remember, I was at home when this happened because I was home for my godfather's funeral. My mother is a nurse. She was the head nurse of the surgical floor and knows how to take notes meticulously more than anyone that I know, and has the best handwriting in the world, and made all of us, like back when like copiers like were like the new thing, she used to like copy our handwriting books and make us like write over and over so that we would have perfect handwriting. My mother never even said that she was in the garage. She heard every single thing that Nick said and was taking notes. And no one, I have never come out and actually said that. I have never come out and said that out of, just, I wanted to let sleeping dogs lie and just let it all go. But I still have the notes. And my mother isn't a liar. And from that day forward, I remember waking up at 2 p.m. and my mother came into my room and she was like, my mother's very Italian. And she's like, I don't care what age you are. I'm going to be a mother to you till the day that you die. I don't want you ever talking to that piece of shit again. And I looked at her and I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, that guy is a skis. That guy was trying to get you to do some weird sexual shit with him. I don't know what his deal is. She goes, he is bad news. You want to ruin your reputation? Keep talking to him. And I was like, holy shit. And folks, any Italians out there, if you got an Italian mother, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And my mother was so adamant. And my mom also knew, like I love it, shorthand. Moms know shorthand, but also so do nurses. LWJWL, sorry, I don't know how to say that, your name. But yeah, my mom heard it all. And I went to my mother, and my mother does not lie to me. My mother is the one, Nick Rekieta, that used to be like, oh, you look too fat in that, you look too fat in this, you need to fix your hair, this. Because I started as a performer by the time I was 9 years old. And so my mom was kind of my agent. And now granted, I wasn't like a John Benet Ramsey type of a thing, but she was just like, nope, you got to fix this, fix this. My mother has never had a problem with being honest with me, and in her generation, the boomer generation, called it constructive criticism. So I knew my mother wasn't bullshitting me. And when I saw the notes that she took of what he was saying to me off air or off stream, I was mortified. And it really kind of made me, I have done, and really quick, I promise my rant will be over after this and we can go to the clip. And I just want everybody to understand something. As a news anchor, I have covered so many different stories in my life. I have covered sexual assault victims, domestic violence victims. I uncovered an entire pedophile priest ring in El Paso, Texas, where a lot of them were from Boston. And that was literally just me asking questions after I watched the movie Spotlight. And those people are messed up for life. I have covered so many different kinds of stories. And then I've covered great ones like the state fair and the price of corn and the new puppy at the police station. But it was always those really tough stories where I was like, how did these people not see that they were getting groomed? And I used to think that back in the day. Like, how did they not see that they were getting groomed? I mean, I came from a great life, came from a great family, a great neighborhood where I didn't have to worry about this kind of crap. And then I see this. And I was like, oh my God, that's how it starts. That's exactly how it starts. And that's exactly the conversation that my mother had with me, where she was like, you don't see it right now. My mom was like, this guy is a sick creep. He's swinging with his wife, or he's doing some kind of sex shit. She goes, he was asking you about porn, what kind of sex toys you use, what kind of stuff you like to watch. She goes, that is grooming. And my mother has seen it 10 times worse than I have, having to deal with 10-year-old rape victims that come into the ER. You know, so that's where it really kind of shook me. And that's where my DMs got released, because I confided in a friend, because I was legitimately trying to work through it, where I was like, did I get groomed? Like, was I like, what happened? And then again, like the DMs kind of get released and all that. Everybody kind of probably knows the rest of the history, but that's the point, is what I'm saying, is that when it feels wrong, it's because it is. That's my biggest takeaway from all of this. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Well, you know, that kind of basically answers a little bit of what he was saying, because, I mean, we already discussed the first part of the clip. I can't play it for you so you could hear it, because that's not what's going, or we're on the phone. But when I'm looking at it, you know,
I love like Monster too. He's like that guy, but yeah, the girl was having a grand time. No offense, I loved you. Yeah, on stream. But what you guys didn't see is what happened off stream.
yeah, there was more.
And that's where my mom was really listening. And again, my mom was there for a good 5 hours, watching the whole thing and just listening. Because again, you can see on the stream, I have no headphones in. I'm on my laptop. He's talking to me through the speaker. And the way that my parents' garage is, you know, like she was able to like sit over off in the corner, literally right by the door, and just listen. And here I am in my cat's cage, like, this is great. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I had no idea that she was there.
Well, how does it make you feel? Because in the video, basically the last part of the video where he's talking about this, he says, you're going to accuse me because of a show, and then you're going to be on the chopping block in the meeting if I meet someone like that in person, for sure. And he says that he never was in the same place with you. No, I've clearly never talked to her like that before. So it's just kind of like he's minimizing the whole entire situation and just really trying to restructure what was happening. He wasn't being the creep, right, on the live stream. He was the nice guy that, you know, okay, I still have that video on my computer because it's funny, but, you know, I took it down, right? Like, I'm the good guy. And it's just
you
really
know what
weird.
It honestly reminds me of? You know what it honestly reminds me of? And I think that's like the funniest part. And like I said, I didn't want to come on camera because I'm like, I was literally in bed and like, I don't want to like, you know, it's late here where I'm at, but like, I am thinner now than I was then, which is the funniest part. Okay. That's one of the funniest part. He still is using fat jokes with me, which is, I think, super funny. 2, he reminds me of the guys when I was skinny, let's say, in junior high, high school, and college, where the guy would shoot a shot with me, and I'd be like, oh, you know, like that's super sweet, but I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend. And then he'd be like, you know what? F you, you're fat anyway. And it was like, okay, like he knew he had no chance. There are so many clips out there. You go to Laundered clips, like one where we're talking about cobwebs, where he's talking about sex toys and stuff. Newsflash, Nick, I've talked about this so many times in my life. I'm a Catholic. I grew up a Catholic. I went to Catholic school my entire life until I went to Purdue. I still, to this day, do not own a sex toy. And it's not that I'm a prude, but I'm not a whore. Okay? I'm not a hoe. And the way that he would talk about this stuff, it was like he would try to be like, see, look how cool I am. Like, I have a sex swing. And I was like, that's disgusting. And you sound like a degenerate. Like the degenerate that my brothers told me to steer freaking clear of. And and at first it was like, I think he tried to like be the friend guy where it was like, okay, funny, funny, funny. Ah. But then like, when it was like, okay, now she's drunk. Let's see if we can get her to like, talk about sex toys and talk about porn. And it was like, no, I don't find you attractive. I never have. Do I think you're funny? Yes. Did I think you're smart? Yes. So like, yeah, if you search Farron cobwebs on here, okay, and you see where I'm like super grossed out by him.
Farron,
and he thinks it's like cool
thing,
and
right?
funny,
guys,
like girls
women,
like want to like be like, oh, like, oh my God, you like sex toys? No, girls are not like that, or at least me. Like I'm just like, ugh. And I think a lot of it was like, you know what? I'm going to reject her before she rejects me. And it was like, okay, dude, I don't give a shit. Like, fine, call me fat. I don't care. My mother's called me worse. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, the main thing here is to not get sucked back in. I think that CV says it in the chat quite well. Because that's kind of where,
100%.
this is going. Right, because you remember, we could go back and look at it. Law & Order Clips doesn't post anymore because their channel got demonetized. But
I mean, look at my face right there. Like literally, my face is just like, ew. And there is no reason to get sucked back in because you know what? This is going to be the nail in the frickin' coffin that he is never going to want to bring this up again. Because again, I have the handwritten notes from a nurse who sat there and listened to his disgusting bullshit that he was saying to me.
You don't even have like an eggplant or anything laying around?
You're not,
cucumber, but
buddy, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. I have let this shit go and I moved on with my life. And mind you, too, here's another thing. I took the fall for it. I took all the shit about, oh, she has to get this shit taken down. And no, you know why Nick took it down? A, legal vices, and B, Nick realized that he looked like a freaking creep with me. That's why he took it down. Let's be honest.
And he only
you know what I mean?
got more creepy as things got on. I mean, even the whole situation with, I guess, April, Kayla, and who's the other one? Aaron, all the A with A's and K's over here. You think about it, it's like he went through all that stuff and he got progressively weirder and weirder and weirder. So like when you guys were talking, he was still, I don't know, people thought he was still relatively normal. Like he was still keeping that facade up.
And when I first met him and like I saw like a little bit of the first part of the clip where he was like, oh, it was like talking to my sister. Like I looked at Nick as a brother too. Like I actually like went to him on like internet tips and like all this other stuff. And then like when he says like, oh, then she got crazy. It's like, why do you think I went crazy on your ass? Because I saw that you were lying to everyone and you clearly still cannot take accountability. And oh, she all of a sudden came out of nowhere. Yeah, because I saw pictures from your house, from the body cam footage, and I've seen body cam footage myself of freaking meth heads, and then your child tested positive for cocaine and all this other crap, and you're blaming everybody but yourself. Shut up, get off the internet just like what I did, regroup, take a few years, rebrand, and come back.
That's
my
impossible.
Advice.
That's impossible for him because he.
I know. Oh my goodness, I missed it. How is he?
She's good. She's almost 7.
Sorry, she.
No, yeah. Everybody thinks
What's
she's
her name
boy.
again?
She ain't got no wiener. Her name's Lunchy.
That was it, Lunchy. Yeah, my buddy, he's 9. I can't even believe it. Can't even believe it. To think that I started this crap when he was 6. It's been 3 years. Move on.
Yeah, I think that Monster in the chat has it the best. He says Nick was basically the way that clip came up is Nick was answering questions for donations, and then your name came up, and he immediately just like his favorite person, Ethan Ralph, just immediately started blaming everybody else for it and doing the deflection game, which is pretty ridiculous, right? You know, it's not
And you
Nick's
know what?
fault. It's everybody's fault.
Yeah. And you know what? I can honestly say this, okay? Like looking back now, like, oh, and by the way, I love that LWJWL. Sorry, I don't know how to say her name. She has big boobs, not fat. I'll let you know, I'm skinnier than I am here now. I am skinnier than I am here now. So, and I know that like Nick says that he likes super, super skinny girls, which is like, whatever, I guess. Maybe it's, I'm not even going to go there. But yeah. So like the fat comments, by the way, too. Again, my mother has called me worse. I've literally walked up a dance floor, and you know, after competing my entire professional life in dancing, and my mom was like, "That looked like shit. I hope you don't ever dance like that again." Like, you think calling me fat like scares me? My mother scares me. You know, like talk about dance mom, right?
That's
But But you know what though? That's the performing lifestyle, and that's where like everything that he's always said about me, it's never really made me angry because I'm just kind of like, dude, I've heard worse. Like, you know, like, okay, so I'm fat. Cool. At least I can change my weight. You can't change your personality and your felony charges.
No, he can't actually change that. I mean, he
Oh,
can
wait,
get it
hang on,
put down.
hang on, I did change my weight. I did change my weight though, by the way. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, he changed it. I mean, he hasn't really changed at all. I think he's just been looking older and more emaciated and not able to really move forward in any way. Because I mean, the internet's not gonna let him move forward. And what's he supposed to do at this rate? I mean, it seems like he's actually trying to thrive off the drama and thinking that he's able to do so, but in reality, it's not something that he's actually good at. At least that's what I think. I mean, look at what he's wearing. He's got like mirror sunglasses on. He's got the shirt and the jacket, and it's like, who are you trying to impress, mofo?
He looks like the freaking Walmart version of Bono at this point. And you know, and I take offense to that because my favorite song from U2 is "Beautiful Day," and I look at him and I'm like, why are you trying to be like Bono now or some shit? Because again, like sometimes it'll come up in my algorithm and I'll just see what he's wearing and I'm like, what is going on with this dude? I don't even click on it because I'm like, I don't even care.
Well,
you know.
I don't know. You know, I was looking at him and I just think it's his Jokerization. He's got that picture behind him, and I truly think that he is just like morphing into this character, or he's morphing into some kind of weird version of Ethan Ralph, I would have to think. Because it's like he's not doing the same shit that he was before.
Oh my God.
And he's just acting so much fucking weirder than, I mean, anybody could have ever imagined. Like, I didn't think that he was that kind of creep.
Someone should literally commission a picture. Instead of like it being Joaquin Phoenix behind him, it's Ethan Ralph and the Joker makeup. That's what should be behind him.
That would be good. We could probably make that. We could probably just ask an AI to do that at this point.
Like, hell yeah, bitch. Why do you want to know the truth about it?
Oh, I don't know what happened with your audio. It got weird though there for a second.
Oh, you mean you don't like my Ethan Ralph? Hell yeah, bitch. If you want to know the truth about
it. Wait, I'm having trouble hearing you. I think your Bluetooth got weird.
All right, let me throw you back. Let me throw you speakerphone. Is that better?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. No, I was hell yeah, bitch. If you want to know the truth about it, that's what Kino always does.
I don't watch her show. I mean, well, all I know is that her and Gino got married and there was a ceremony because I saw pictures.
No. Sorry, I was talking Kino Casino. Sorry, when I say Kino, I mean Kino Casino.
Oh, you're talking about Andy Worski and the PPP guy. I don't even know where that dude came from.
PPP always talks about Ethan Ralph, and he's like, "Oh, bitch."
But didn't those guys?
Micro Memphis. The Memphis Micro or whatever the hell it is.
Wasn't there some drama with those guys a few months ago where they like had some sort of pay pig doing a party and shit got weird? I mean, I don't know. It just makes them more endearing, to be perfectly honest.
But... you know, you could be right. Honestly, I remember that was during a ratings month. So I wasn't watching a lot of Kino, but I remember seeing them talk about like how, yeah, they went to Vegas or something, but I never paid attention, to be honest. Because like I said, I mean, literally in TV, I was even telling a friend this because they were like, yeah, my one friend was bitching me the other day. She's like, I can't leave literally between November 19th and December 19th. I can't take a vacation or anything. And I was like, bitch, I was like, welcome to TV where you can't leave in the month of February, May, July, September, or November. 5 months out of the year, I could not leave anywhere but the newsroom because those are ratings periods. So that probably was during that time because I was going to say, I remember seeing that, but I don't remember like deep diving in on it because I was probably way too busy working on stuff.
Yeah, that's where I was a couple of months ago. I missed a lot of stuff. So it's like I'm learning about it, trying to keep up on the Kiwi farms about it because, they're A-logging. I think that's the proper terminology for whatever it is that they do.
Which can we like say something really quick? I
Sure.
love how like Nick now is so against Kiwi farms. When wasn't he the one like originally fighting for it? And now all of a sudden, like when they go against you, like now it's a bad thing.
Well, he became a low-cal. I mean, if he
I mean,
never
but
got
that's the
arrested
thing.
and he never got his house raided,
That's the thing is like Mr. Trad Dad free speech was all about Kiwi farms and all friends with Josh and all this other stuff. And then like the second that like shit starts like coming out and like, things start, twisting in a different way, now all of a sudden Kiwi farms is bad. Like you can't have it both ways, And again, I messed up so many times on the internet. Like I wish like if I could go back and do it all over again, I would be like Farron girl, like read like the legal mindset. He had like a really good like rules of the internet. Like girl, read this handbook first before you go on the internet. Like so you don't like make any of these mistakes. But I'm also glad that I did because I learned a lot. But this guy, I looked up to him and he would tell me some like tips and tricks about, like don't do copyright strikes and don't do this, don't do that. And that's like one of my biggest regrets with Divinity. I wish I would have never escalated it. I can go back and look and say, hey, I messed up. I did wrong. This guy cannot. And I don't understand why. And if anything, the internet is very forgiving. If you sit there and you're like, hey, I messed up, I was in my
No, it's
head,
not.
I got an ego
It's a
and I
hate
thought that
machine.
I could, yeah, the internet loves people that can admit when they're wrong, surprisingly. And that's what I learned, like when I wasn't admitting that when I was wrong, I got so much more crap for it. And now that I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I was a dipshit. Like, yeah, I went crazy, I went crazy. But then, but also I think a lot of the environment too, like where it was like the shots and the drinking and stuff. I'm not a good drunk because I normally really don't drink. So like when I do drink, it's like, who is this chick, And so it was just one of these things where I became like super unhinged. But I can admit that. That's the part of growing. When you don't admit anything that you did wrong, you're not going to grow, which is why we are still in the same place that we were 3 years ago. Not with us, but with one particular person.
Yeah, with this guy. Yeah, I can't even believe that, we've been broken off into a tangent on him for so much, but at the same time, it's just kind of funny, right? Because I remember doing some like videos on him, not making, my channel all about him as I should have it during that time. But, where we're at now, it's just kind of weird, right? Like, I feel like there was so much potential there that just got squandered. And then it's just been like bad move after bad take after bad take. And I think somebody in the chat said it pretty well. They said he's playing into the former cokehead meme. He's got no takes, covers, or cases since the Kira Reed trial. And now he's just some streamer that we used to know. That's it. That's all he's amounts to at this point.
Some streamer that we used to know. Now he's just some streamer that we used to know. Like, here's the craziest part, though, is if you would have told me 3 years ago that Nick would have bottomed out, crashed out, got arrested for cocaine, would have been in a polycule, or a throuple or whatever you call it, got his kids taken away from him, all of this crap. If you would have told me that, I would have been like, you are insane. This guy is so put together.
Hold
You
up,
know what
we
I mean?
got a super chat. We got a super chat from Motstar. He threw $10 and he was like, at FaranBalanced, where is the best
Aw.
place to follow you and your appearances? Yeah, I don't agree. I agree, don't drink, but when I do drink for purpose, I drink for purpose, I guess.
Yeah, and don't drink online too.
Don't
That's
drink and
another thing
stream.
too.
Don't do that.
But you know what? I will say though, at that time, it was kind of like the new thing because again, like we were all doing so great from the Johnny Depp trial, and it was like, hell yeah, and people were throwing money at us. It was COVID, you know, and just yeah. So thank you for the super chat for Defango. I appreciate it. You can just follow me on my channel. I might start posting some stuff there, you know, but and Twitter too. We'll see. I'm debating on coming back. I don't know if I would talk about politics and stuff like what I used to talk about. We'll see. But I've been giving it some thought. It's going to be a lot different this time around, though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah? Well, how different you think it's gonna be?
I don't think that I need to do the group panels. I think group panels are toxic as shit.
Yeah, they suck.
Because
I hate
that
'em.
is one. Yep, and that is one thing. And I think that if I were to compare it to like anybody on how like I would do it, I would say like a Brett Cooper style. I used to say the quartering where he would like cover like different little stories, but now the quartering just sucks.
Oh yeah, he's
He's so
fucking
boring.
awful.
Good
Hey, buy
God.
my coffee.
Talk about
I'm poor. I'm gonna get new hair.
hey guys, it's the quartering, and I have a new show. And it's like his voice literally puts his face to sleep. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And Jeremy and I, you remember we had beef back in the day in the Eliza Blue days where he was taking all of our crap and putting it on as his own. And
Mhm.
it's been kind of funny to see like, you know, the whole whatchamacallit, the karma come back at him. Because people are now like giving him shit like all you do is just read other people's articles. And I'm like, yeah, that's what he did 3 years ago too. Like,
It
you
hasn't
know,
changed. As he did that for 5
yeah.
years, 7 years, 10 years. I don't even know. It was a lot of damn years that he's been putting that shit together. But that's where we've been with a lot of these guys. Like honestly, sometimes I go out, like I have all these links that I had pulled up for today of shit that we were just gonna laugh at. Because that's what I feel like does the best these days is just the going and looking at stuff online that you could laugh at, which I guess leads me into my next question for you. Where this will be a heater. Where do you sit in the whole Israel debate that has come up in the last 3 years?
Oh God. And here I thought we were just going to talk about the Nick crap.
Well, you're here, so I mean,
you know, speaking of Nick, how about foreign policy? You know, here's my thing because I have covered both sides, and in a fair and balanced approach, I see both sides. I understand Israel, you know, coming as a country in 1948. I mean, I've studied the whole history of it. In fact, you know, I actually literally just over the weekend, well, like actually, let me backtrack for that. One of my favorite movies of all time is 7 Days in Entebbe, which for those that don't know, it's about a group of hostages that were taken, or it was a group of people, an airline that was taken hostage, and they were in the airport for 7 days in Entebbe, Uganda. And if you know Benjamin Netanyahu, that was the raid that killed his brother. Okay. A little history lesson for you here. And so I understand Benjamin Netanyahu, where he is very angry that his brother was killed by Palestinian and Ugandan rebels. I get it. If somebody killed my sister or my brother, I would come at the world like with the fire of 1,000 suns. However, you know, I will say this. I have always been, despite before this whole conflict, I have always said I am literally against giving money to foreign countries. I said this about the Ukraine war. I said this about Kuwait. I said this about Afghanistan. I said this about every single war that we've ever had. I'm very much the Jesse Ventura attitude of We need to help our people here home first before we start doling out money to anybody else. So that's number one. And number two, while I do agree that, Israel deserves and has the right to be a country and to protect itself, I don't believe in the killing and slaughter of innocent children and civilians, especially when you're trying to free hostages, and a lot of that kind of coincides with possibly killing your own hostages to quote unquote kill Hamas. Now, again, I'm not over there. I've never been over there, you know. However, I do think that AIPAC needs to register as a foreign agent because let me tell you something. I worked for RT America. I worked for Russia Today. We had to register as foreign agents with FARA. I had friends that worked, and mind you, they were friends that worked for CNN, that worked for CGTN, which is the Chinese channel, the Chinese news network, because that's where a lot of if you ever wonder like where like your favorite news anchors go from like the big networks, they usually go to an international station because the hours are better because everybody overseas is like 8 hours ahead of us, so you could actually work a 9 to 5 in TV. But you also have to register with FARA, which is the foreign agent records or whatever the hell it is. I can't even remember now. I haven't been in DC now for like 4 years. But I believe if any congressman is taking money from a foreign country, that needs to be shown. I am like of the Robin Williams mentality. Put on your race car jacket and patch on who's donating you money. Let's see the patches, you know? Which is again why when I lived in DC for the 7 years that I did, for those that don't know, I first got there. I grew up in a very red county outside of Cook County, outside of Chicago. And if that kind of like lets you know like where I started. And then when I got to DC, when I first moved there, everything was like, oh my God, like I used to walk across the Capitol and walk past it every single day. And I was like, that is where change happens. That is where like the laws were made, the founding fathers and blah, 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 blah. And then after 3 months, I was like, just designated survivor this shit, burn it all down, just start over. Like, can we just start over? Like, none of these people care about us. I feel like the Michael Jackson, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Like that was just me. And so I hate both sides. They are literally two sides of the same coin. Oh, thank you, Doc Rocks. Yeah, Foreign Agents Registration Act. Thank you. Yes, Lionel. He's one of my good friends too, by the way, Lionel. And I actually used to do a lot of human trafficking stuff, awareness with his wife, Lionel's wife. She's amazing. But yeah, so I mean, amazing people that work for RT, Larry King, Jesse Ventura, Ed Schultz of MSNBC, Rick Sanchez, who was like my guy. Larry King and Rick Sanchez were like my two mentors. I'm actually looking at like a little like bookmark of Rick Sanchez right now by my desk.
Not the guy from Rick and Morty, you boomers.
Yes, and you know what's crazy is like so the guy that wrote Rick and Morty, that was his one producer. It was kind of like based on him too. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But no, so yeah, like I agree with everybody, like everybody can be their own country and whatnot, but do I agree that, we need to kill civilians over it? And that goes for us and how we killed over 300,000 Iraqi women and children and civilians over weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, we're included in that too. One of my good buddies, Scott Ritter, was the one guy who was the weapons strategist who had to testify in front of Congress and was like, there are no weapons of mass destruction. They are not there. And they were like, you're a liar. And his whole life was completely ruined. Scott Ritter, you can look him up. And everybody's going to say, he tried to pick up an underage girl and all this other crap. Yep, and they try to get him for trying to pick up an underage girl and all this other crap. It was all bullshit, and it's bad for you, as George Carlin used to say.
It's all bullshit. That's bad for you. Well, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I guess that's pretty cool. My whole take has just been like, I've been seeing so many politicians talking about it that, like I've leaned over in the Nick Fuentes camp where I'm just like, I don't give a shit. If you love Israel so much, you should just go live over there. And, we should stop sending our money over there because it just seems like ridiculous at this point. But no, we keep pushing in to a lot of this stuff, right? You know, I don't want to just talk about Nick,
Well,
but
and here's the other thing though too, Defango, is there's a lot of people in New York. I mean, New York is like the number one place for Jews. You know, number one. I think the second is like Miami, two is LA. You know, I mean, not like you know, like they're all over, but like there's major hubs. Like for example, there's a major Polish Russian hub in Chicago, like where my family's from, right? So everybody's got like their own little hubs. What I don't like is the fact that, like, for example, like I saw this, like, for example, like part of my family's Russian. When the whole Russia-Ukraine war started, and everyone was like, "Ugh, what do you think about that? Like, what do you think?" And I'm like, I do not answer to Putin. And I never have to, thank God. But like, why am I, as an American who have lived here since literally I walked out of the womb of my mother, have to now answer to like Russian politics? And that's where I think that people, Jews here in the United States, are given a total disservice, where it's like, if you don't answer to Israel, what kind of Jew are you? And I know a lot of younger Jews where they're like, this is bullshit. Like H3. He even said, he was like, I don't agree with a lot of this. I'm Jewish, but I don't agree with a lot of this. And I just look at it and it's like, just because you're from a country doesn't mean that like you have to either, like, on the one side you have to stand up for that country, and then on the other side you have to like literally denounce the country. You know what I mean? Again, like, I'm part Russian. Do I have to denounce Putin? Like, no, because many
you don't
people in
have
my
to,
family
but
that are
it
still over
helps.
there in Russia, many of the people in my family that are still over there in Russia, they love him. Am I going to denounce him though? He's never done anything to me, and I don't live in Russia.
It's true.
Does the war in Ukraine suck? Yeah, you know, but you talk to any Russian or Ukrainian, for example, like when I grew up around my family's dinner table, the Ukrainians and the Russians have never really liked each other for quite a while, since World War II.
All right, well, what do
You
you
know,
think
Russians
about
will
the
tell
new
you.
mayor in there, the Muslim mayor that everybody was saying, "Oh my God, the Muslims are taking over New York City"? What do you think about that?
I love it. I love it. And here's why. I don't care what anybody says about his, you know, you can hate me. For example, do I think about like a lot of this free stuff is going to happen? Probably not. And I kind of agree, like with the SNL clip. I don't know if you watched the SNL clip of the New York mayoral debate, where it was oh God, Miles Teller, Shane Gillis played the Silva guy, and then I forgot who played Mamdani, but he was like, I'm going to answer every really tough question by answering with a really tough answer, but also making it really tough on my face. And then he leaves like this big smile, you know? And it was so true of all the candidates. But what I love about it is it gets these frickin' boomers out of office. And it also sends a message to these boomers. You know what? We're done. Like, we're done. Like, while Mamdani might be a failure, I don't care, because, you know, Fox News is like having a coronary. He's a communist. He's a socialist. He's this. And then even MSNBC. Mind you, I've always said, when the Democrats and Republicans agree on stuff, that's when you know maybe the person might be dangerous, or maybe the vote isn't good for you. But with Mamdani, I love it because it's like, you know what? We need fresh blood. We need these boomers to understand, oh, you know, Andrew Cuomo, just because, you know, my dad was the governor and the mayor, and my brothers with CNN, you know, I just don't get it. What do you mean I just don't get it? And that was like SNL. That was the whole joke with SNL, where they were making fun of him. And they're like, yeah, he just thinks that he just deserves it. And it's like, no, you gotta work for it, bitch. Like Britney Spears said, you better work, bitch.
Gotta work it.
You know?
That's true. That's
You
very
better
true.
work, bitch.
Very true.
You know? So to me, while I might not agree on all of his policies, to me he's symbolic in the sense that people are done with these old fogies that need to retire. For example, you have the Democrats, a lot of them that have sided with the Republicans over this latest Senate vote. Do you know that most of the Democrats that did it, they're either A, not being reelected until 2028, or B,
They're
they're
resigning.
retiring.
Yeah, they're retiring.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't give a shit. And that's where I think, while the Democrats did do very well on the midterms, I also think this latest, because mind you, remember, the Republicans owned the shutdown. The Democrats were like, we're going to take it back with the midterms. But now they're slapping people right back in the face, like a bitch slap times 2, where it's like, oh, but wait, no, we're going to like bend though. Sorry. And that's what people get angry about, And so I think Mamdani represents a new generation, a new, you know what? We don't have to listen to you. We don't have to go by the status quo of what the check boxes in the Democratic Party. I can do what I want. And he had a great ground game. Andrew Cuomo did not do a lot because he thought, hey, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Well, not really, dude. And then what happened when he lost? He blamed, what was it, Chris Silva? I can't remember his first name, but he blamed Silva, the guy that ran as a Republican. Curtis, yeah. Saying that it was his fault. It's like,
No, he would have still lost.
And that's where, and to bring it all the way full circle, it's like, oh, it wasn't your fault? Okay, Nick Rekieta, you're right. It wasn't your fault at all. It's everybody else but you. Everybody else but you.
Well, it is good that we finally at least got to get some discussion in here with Nick Rekieta and stuff. I think it's a little interesting. I'm sure that we'll probably see somebody probably posting something on this one on the good old internet.
Wait, are we going to go through the clip where I can even respond?
Oh, well, I kind of actually have to kind of get off of the stream. I kind of burned all my time talking to you already about this one today.
And you know what? I'm not going to lie. A lot of, to be fair, a lot of like kind of what I said in some response, even though I didn't get to watch the whole thing, kind of speaks for itself,
I think you covered most of it. I asked you the questions that I think that were pretty relevant to the whole situation. I just don't have a lot of time because I got to get to sleep so I can go to work.
Oh my God, you have a job too? Jesus.
Yeah, I actually have a job.
The last 3 years.
Just work.
And that is, I will say, is my one big message that I will tell you. That this is the one thing that local news is not doing, which is why I had to get out, especially with our latest CEO, who is trying to like, quote, rebrand the news, but he's just doing a horrible job. And 40 of us left because we couldn't take it anymore. We were like, we're done. In this day and age, and with the way that the internet works so quickly and so fastly, and just the way that, especially now with AI, and I actually really do hope, if anything, folks, the one thing that I do really hope that I think is going to be the next big thing on the ballots is going to be how people deal with AI, especially with data centers and with how AI is taking people's jobs. I think that's going to be a huge new ballot issue that will either unite Republicans, but usually they don't unite on anything, so fuck that. But point being, though, is that you always have to be able to rebrand, find new things, constantly staying up on the up and up, and constantly, renewing yourself, which is, I'm so proud that you're doing that. It's been a while, but you're like, okay, we're going to get back and we're going to try some new stuff. And here we are.
Yeah, I just try to go live whenever I'm in between, having to go to sleep for work and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's great. And it's just starting something new, see what clicks. The point is that you're rebranding, you're starting something new, and you're testing the waters. What I don't like and what I'm seeing, Nick Rekieta, and if you can listen, this is my message for you. Watching Kurt cooking streams and talking about the Farron drunk stream are like old news. It's like you're in analog and everybody's streaming now. Okay? Time to rebrand. Time to find something new. You were kind of one of those people. Yes, you might have been the guy that started streaming court cases. Instead of talking shit about a bunch of people, why don't you sit down and like even get a focus group? You know, that actually can be done. I used to do it in TV. Get a focus group and ask people, what's the next thing you want to see from me? What would you like me to cover? And just rebrand, renew.
Mhm.
You know,
Recycle,
a lot has
reuse.
changed in 3 years. A lot has changed in 3 years. And if you're going to sit there and talk about shoulda, woulda, coulda, unfortunately, the world runs on what have you done for me lately? And frankly, Nick, not a lot.
Almost zero, actually.
That's my message.
Near zero.
You know, I literally would have even taken him to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to rebrand and I'm going to talk about staying sober. And I'm gonna do things sober, and we're gonna cover cases, and we're gonna watch a body cam video of people that are drunk, and then I'm gonna tell you a reason of why this helps me stay sober. I would have accepted that. That actually would have been a great fucking idea. You know, watching sober people ruin their lives and then being like, you know what, this was me, but you know what I did, and this is what I did, and I started reading the Bible, and I started going to AA groups or whatever the hell it is that you did, and helping people. Or, you know, hey, we're going to go over trials where it's over kids and the CPS system because you know what? I messed up, but you know what? I want to make sure that all these other kids and yada, yada, yada. There are so many different avenues that he could have gone to help the world in a better place. But instead, he's sitting there making fun of Kurt, cooking, and talking about and trying to rewrite history about a drunk stream with me that happened 3 years ago.
And the whole fact that he was a swinger in the first place.
So much more. I'm sorry?
I said also he's trying to rewrite history on when everybody found out he was a swinger. And now he's modeling everything that he does off to some guy named Patrick Melton, who I don't even really fucking know. I just seen a picture of him. He looks like a chomo.
I mean, I literally could name off 5 things that I have done in the 3 years. Just 5 little things. Like, for example, I uncovered the swim coach at UK. I was the first to break it that he was sexually assaulting girls on the swim team, including what's her face, Riley Riley Gaines. You know, and got a comment from her when I was in Lexington and got a whole thing about that and uncovered the whole lawsuit and explained it to the whole community that and that ended up going to ESPN and I was on ESPN for it. Okay. That was all about, you know, helping parents know like if their kids are getting diddled by their sports coaches. Okay. That another thing was, you know, talking about new laws here that Governor Braun's doing in Indiana about DEI and how he wants to pull it all back and how, you know, there's actually going to be a lot of funding taken away from certain groups. That's just 2 things. Okay. I have literally moved on and have worked on other stuff to help other people. And that's where I just look at him and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You could literally take this moment and help so many other people with what you've gone through. Yet you choose to make fun of people and drag other people down because why? They didn't defend you? Really?
That's basically it. It doesn't
It's
get
sad.
it doesn't get any more difficult than that. It is sad. But yeah, I hate to cut you off, but I definitely gotta go.
No, because I could go on for hours. I know. I could talk to a fork. So you do your thing. You end your show. It's been great catching up. We're gonna catch up again soon.
Yeah.
You know, and mind you, Nick was like, oh, she's like, I love you. I love you. DeFanco, you know me. I say I love you to everybody. Okay? I love you. Okay? But just know that I love you the same way that I love Nick, right? Oh God, what a douchebag. Anyway,
He is a douchebag.
thank you so much for having me on. This was so much fun. Let's do it again soon. Thank you to the chat. You guys are amazing, and I'm gonna let you end your show, and then let's catch up soon on the other side of this. So thank you so much, my friend.
Definitely. Well, thanks
Great
for
to catch up.
Yeah, thanks for letting me call you, and I hope you have a good one.
You too, dude. Talk soon.
Bye-bye. Oh, sheesh, I didn't realize that was going to go on for an hour and a half. Kind of like fuck the kind of fucked the whole show a little bit, but that's all right. You know, I'm sure people are gonna want to clip that out, so I should probably just edit there. But I do have to go to bed. I was already planning on being in bed right now, so I could be awake at 5 a.m. But it's fine. I'll be all right. I think it's funny, you know, to think that Nick is coming back and he's doing this. I didn't want to make this a whole fucking Nick stream, but here we are. That's why I try to ask her about some other things over there. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Hassan fucking getting arrested in China. I guess I could do it real fast.
Roger, you seen this? Oh yeah. Look. Yeah.
Motherfucker got arrested in China, bro. It's fine though. I don't really want to talk about that now. I mean, where do I even go from here on this one? It's not exactly what I thought it was gonna go, but that's the beauty of the best worst show on the internet. There are no expectations, and we don't know what the fuck is gonna happen here. And maybe we're going after the low hanging fruit, but we're also going after the high hanging fruit too. We don't give a fuck. We want all the fruit. Give me the fruit. I just want to be entertained. That's all this fucking shit is. Also, really fucking hilarious that somebody posted this shit on the Nick thread in Kiwi Farms. That's a little vexing, but I post on Kiwi Farms too, so I guess that's not a huge problem. Not a problem. I just feel it's weird because, like, I didn't expect this motherfucker to be talking about her. I didn't even want to talk about him. I was like, all right, we discussed him like a couple of days ago. We kind of in passing, like, but we really didn't get deep into it. But just seeing that video and then him talking about Farron, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why is he even talking about this chick? That was like years ago. And it just dawned on me that I should just tweet this at her and see what the hell's happening, because, like, literally that's the only way to really, I think, to get good information from people. Because, I mean, you saw it. She'll sit there and talk the whole fucking time. Like, all I gotta do is just, you know, like, turn off the camera and be like, yep, that's right, whatever, and start asking her like 3-4 question, or, you know, 3-4 word questions, and I mean, we can have her going all night easily, which is perfect. But at the same time, you know, like, I can't do that anymore because you know, I have a job and shit, so, you know, I can't just be sitting here for hours on fucking streaming. But yeah, you guys can follow FaranBalanced. I did show you guys her actual Twitter account or whatever. You see, it's there at FaranBalanced. See right there, FARAN balanced. See, I spelled it out for you. The hard part. You guys can go follow her on over there, and I'm sure like more shit is gonna come up. Just the fact that this even happened, somebody out there in the internet land is going to create some drama with this, and then the drama is going to expand and, you know, start working its way through all the verses, the dabble verse, the crabble verse, the snabble verse. I mean, you guys know how this fucking shit works. So, you know, I'm just here. I'm doing my part for you. You're welcome. Or whatever. At least I'm cool about it though, you know, because I understand how this is, and it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, how fucking low can you get, dog? How low can you get? Just start talking about cases again. Do something else, right? Don't go back to the past where you were already a shithead and you were still a shithead. You were like a secret undercover shithead. I guess that's what it was. But, like, literally, you're making your life better, but why kick people for no reason? People that aren't even around. Like, I could understand him, you know, going after other folks, even me, but like somebody that's not even online talking any of that shit, it doesn't fucking make any sense. It's stupid shit. It's stupid shit. Honestly though, yeah. Thanks for the deets on contact info, says Monster. Alchemist Safa Rakeda. Yeah, dude, this guy is suffering, dude. Honestly, I look at his picture right here, because it's right here. You know, this is the thing. You know, like, seriously, this is you now, bro. Like, you're wearing fucking glasses. I mean, are you trying to be the next fucking sector god? Because, I mean, he's basically almost Ethan Ralph. Almost Ethan Ralph, from the point of him and Ethan having their little beef over the weekend. Like, I was almost on the fuck Mersh stream, but then Ethan Ralph got smart because fucking Jesse PS is a little bitch. But that's all right though. BWA, we could be watching that ass, boy. I got teams now, motherfucker. It ain't solo anymore, so I wouldn't fuck with it. Anyways, I don't know where any of that shit came from, but seriously though, like, I should go to bed. I need to go to bed. Now I'm all hyped. I need to drink some fucking NyQuil or something. And then what? Tomorrow I have training. I got to do all of this other shit. Well, not really. I just have to do my training tomorrow. That's good. And then hopefully I can figure out what the other problem. I was having another problem with the email, but it's like a retarded problem. I think I fixed it. I don't know. So I guess we'll probably see you tomorrow. It's Wednesday tomorrow. Who knows what other interesting bullshit's going to happen on the internet. We'll have to bring Farron back on at some point. I got to actually put together a schedule and shit, but, this show sucks, and it's all retarded. But, hey, we did make money today. I got to do that. We did actually make some fucking super chats today. That's what this shit's all about, dog. Making that money, right? So yeah, please send me money now. Thank you very much. I'm kidding, but I'm not. That's why the show's fun. Anyways, but seriously though, hopefully you guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks again to Farron for getting me to set up the phone call thing on my computer. We got that done. That seemed to work. I'm sure that you're gonna be popping up a lot more on the internet, so just get out there, start making the circuit. I'm sure people are going to be hitting you up. I can almost see it now, right? We know how this shit goes. And for the rest of you, like Eager Bill, new guy, definitely a lot of information, some type of A-logger of some kind. That's fucking for sure. But either way, like, I think we've gotten some good information today. We did a stream. That was the goal. Just do a stream every day. Get back into the business. Stream for an hour and a half. You'll be all right. Either way. Oh, shit, dude. Somebody sending us some fucking money, dude. Damn, son. Monster sending us another $5 motherfucking dollars, dog. So what's that today, dude? What's that bring the total up today? We made like $35, dude, for doing nothing. That's what I'm talking about. That's why people want to be like streamers. That's what Nick Rekieta just wants. He just wants people to send him money, and then he just does his thing. That's what he wants. So that's what we're going to do. But with that, I mean, I hate to take your money and run, but I'm going to take your money and run, Monster. Thank you for the money. Appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, or whatever. You do you. I don't really give a shit. Help the algorithm. Don't help the algorithm. It's Rocco's Basilisk. I'm not here to fucking make you do anything other than, whatever it is you people in my computer do. Because that's really all. I mean, I know Farron's not a person in my computer because I seen her, but a lot of you other motherfuckers. I mean, you could be real. You couldn't be real. I think J.R. Riggs is real. I'm pretty sure we're friends on Facebook. But whatever. Who the fuck sent money? Yeah, we got Monster sending money, and we had Grangerman sending money. That's it. We had Monster and Grangerman that sent money. So, thank you for the money. And, yeah, we out. Bye now. I'm gonna... Later. You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here because I'm gonna close the stream, and then it's just gonna be gone. So you're just gonna have to fucking, go figure out whatever it is you're gonna do now. You're gonna have to figure out what you're gonna do now. And then on me, because I don't know what I could, maybe you can like make some noodles with like, go watch another show or something. Like, what the fuck? Goddamn, motherfucker sending money again? Seriously? Seriously, dog? Seriously, Mr. Bill? Eager Bill? Another $5? Proud A-logger here. Let's do part 2. Yeah, well, we're going to definitely have to plan that out. That would be better for like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing for me because I don't work those days, so I could do that. Usually during the week, I only have like 3 or 4 hours that I can stream. And then I usually just sit at my computer like this, just like, what the fuck am I even going to talk about tonight? I don't know. And then I stress over it for like an hour or two. And then I usually end up here. But anyways, you don't need to hear about how we set this piece of shit up. But it's pretty obvious. Either way. Bye. Now I'm leaving. I'm leaving this time for good. For good. I'm going to take your $5. I'm going to thank you for it, Mr. Eagle Bill. But have a nice night. All right. Lunchy to go pee-pees? Probably. She probably already peed on the paper. That's fine. Check her out anyway.